Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Arcanum. I went ahead and distributed all the equipment, sold off some stuff, and tidied up the warehouse a bit. And I had said that we'd be out front of Mr. Bates' home, but there was one thing that I'd like to do first. We're actually just down the street from the warehouse, outside of the local brothel, which is called Madame Lil's. So let's go ahead in. And there's Madame Lil, and she's got a selection of whores right behind her. We have the coquettish half-elf female, the young inexperienced woman, the voluptuous human female, and of course the half-orc female dominatrix. And you can actually hire them. If none of these is to your taste, they also have a sheep available for your character in the back room. But let's just talk to Madame Lil very quickly. Why, hello there. Welcome to Madame Lil's, the finest establishment in Tarot. And she does have some quests, which we're going to do later on, but right now I just want to get the... she's the trainer in persuasion for the expert level. So, and it costs 500 gold. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Thank you, Robert Drake. You are now an expert at persuasion. If you wish to study further and become a master, you will need to seek out Mr. Willisby. He has a home here in Toronto, but is often away on business in Caledon. Okay, thank you, Madame Will. And if we go to the character sheet, we see that Mr. Drake is now an expert in persuasion, and his the maximum number of followers that he can have has gone up to 4. And the reason I wanted to do this now is because we're going to get that 4th follower fairly soon, after we right after we speak to Mr. Bates. But let's go ahead and take the steam rail up to Bates' mansion, and then we'll have to try to talk our way in. So here we go. Okay. Take it to Toronto University. And then just run down this way. Alright, and here we are. And Bates's mansion is pretty heavily guarded, so... Do you need me? Whose house might this be? Gilbert Bates, the industrialist, lives here. I have a matter of utmost importance to discuss with Mr. Bates. And that matter would be pertaining to? I have a ring that used to belong to him. You and every other assassin or lunatic who comes around here, move along. Mr. Bates will be extremely upset when he hears of this. I think I have a far greater idea of what Mr. Bates would be upset about than you do, miscreant. I think he'd be upset about you speaking to an old friend of his this way. What do you mean, old friend? I've known him forever. I wouldn't keep me out if I were you. If you're a friend, you should have telegraphed ahead to Mr. Bates so he could have notified us to expect you. I'll telegraph him about your rudeness to one of his oldest friends. Oh, that won't be necessary, sir. I just need some explanation or, something to convince me he would grant you an audience. Look, I've had enough of this. Bring me to him and he'll settle it. Pardon my detaining you, sir. It's obvious from your attitude that you're telling me the truth. You can understand how we need to be sure about these things, though. Please go in. You've been most kind. Okay, and he got a bit of experience to level up. I'll take care of that after we talk to Bates. If Drake was able to talk his way in, because I'm pretty sure it's because of his skill in persuasion, if your character doesn't have any skill in persuasion, the guard will just send you to perform a little quest, and then you'll get an audience with Bates. And here is Mr. Bates. So let's see what he has to say.
Good day to you, sir. I am Gilbert Bates, as I am sure you have surmised. My guards inform me there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Quite so, sir. I'd like to ask you about this ring.
Great gods! How did you come by that ring?
A gnome gave it to me as he lay dying.
A gnome? What manner of tomfoolery is this? Are you certain it was not a dwarf?
No, sir. No tomfoolery was involved at all. I've never seen a skinny, beardless dwarf anyway.
Yes, I am familiar with the dwarves and their customs. Tell me, was there anything distinctive about this fellow?
Okay, and then luckily, Drake has noticed that he had a scar over his left eye.
By Alberic, I knew it in my heart. That was no gnome. It was Stenar Rockcutter.
I suppose it could have been a sick dwarf, but his beard.
Yes, I know, it is madness, but please tell me, did he say anything to you before he died? Did he say anything about me?
He said he had escaped to warn us about the evil.
The evil? What evil? And where did he escape from?
He didn't say. I was hoping you would know what it meant.
Something horrible must have happened after I... Did he say anything else?
He referred to you as a boy. Why would he do that?
I do not know. Even though dwarves reckon time differently than humans, he must have realized that I am now an old man. Perhaps it is because I was but a boy when I betrayed his trust all those years ago.
How did you come to betray him?
That is quite the long tale. A tale of my shame, it is.
I'm listening.
It is ironic that my greatest mistake is that which brought me such wealth. As a youth, I was enamored of all things dwarven, so I sought out the nearest clan and attempted to impress them with my grasp of their technology. They laughed. It was obviously a novelty to them, a ridiculous human who had a natural bent towards technology. I suppose it didn't help that I was a mere 14 years old at the time. I became something they humored to entertain themselves. Stenar was the only one who truly called me friend in all those years, and betrayal is how I repaid his friendship. It was he who first showed me their steam engine, as he knew I could appreciate the beautiful intricacies of its design. They had left it to rust in a corner, as they had very little use for a device that would reduce the need for sheer physical power. Imagine a dwarf relying on a device to do his digging for him. It's preposterous. I asked him if I could tinker with it, perhaps improve on it, as I knew this was the key to becoming truly a part of the dwarven world. I quickly devised a way to use it to power a pump for draining the mines. When I fell all over myself trying to explain it to them, laughter was, once again, their only response. I knew I had to somehow gain their respect, so I hastily sketched some schematics and set out to prove my theory. The struggling human mining company that I brought the plans to offered me a share in their mines for the steam pump. I was ecstatic. I had not a care for their mines or their money. I desired vindication. When I returned to the dwarves to boast of my accomplishments and be welcomed into their clan, they were gone. The inventions came quickly after that, fueled by my anger and confusion. How could they have denied me my place amongst them after all my labors? Somehow I felt I could still prove myself to them. I continued searching for them in all my spare moments, but to no avail. But then they came, the robed ones. They appeared to me late one night, and they warned me to never speak of, nor try to find the dwarves again. Still being a mere lad, you can imagine the terror that put into me. As my wealth and power grew, I shook off some of my youthful fear and hired the first in a long chain of investigators to locate Stenar and his clan. None of them ever returned with any worthwhile information, and some never returned at all. The ones that did told of vicious traps and creatures attacking them from the shadows. As word of these failures spread, it became more and more difficult to find souls brave enough to take on the challenge.
But why did he send me here with your ring?
He knew that ring would lend veracity to your tale. I gave Stenner that ring the last time I saw him. Now he is dead. If only we knew what he meant by the evil.
Virgil here thinks it has something to do with his religion.
I don't put much stock in religious ramblings myself.
Smart.
But if you feel it could help you to get more information on the Panari, you should go to their temple on the northern end of Lion's Head Circle. I'm more concerned with who killed Stenner and why, and what all this has to do with my relationship with the Black Mountain clan.
So what's to be done now?
There must be some clue left in the Black Mountain mines. I am certain of this. You seem to be a resourceful individual. Would you be interested in searching the mines for some clue as to their whereabouts? I would make it worth your while, I can assure you.
I'm anxious to solve this conundrum too, as well. I accept.
Splendid! Here, let me mark your map with the location of the Black Mountain mines. I am certain there must be some clues to be found there. Please, return as soon as you have found anything.
May I ask you some questions before I leave?
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
You didn't actually invent the steam engine?
I have never actually claimed that I did. It was just people's assumption. I have invented any number of devices based off its principles, but I did not invent the first one.
What did you think would happen when you sold the engine?
Such is the enthusiasm, or perhaps the impetuousness of youth, that I did not stop to consider the consequences of my actions. All I could see was a way to gain the respect of the dwarves. It was all that mattered.
It must be unsettling to get so much praise for the steam engine, then.
Yes, it is, and it torments me every day. I was but a child when the robed ones gave me their dire warnings, and I was terrified. They were explicit that I was not to reveal the origins of the steam engine.
Do you have time for more questions?
Of course. What do you wish to ask of me?
Okay, and we could ask him about the need to impress dwarves. We can do that later, though. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, one more thing. I would like to purchase my ring back from you. I'd give you 200 coins. It would mean quite a bit to me. My father gave it to me before he died.
Certainly. Here you go.
Much obliged. I will speak with you when you return.
I'll be leaving now. Good day. Okay, so Mr. Bates has hired Drake to search the mines of the Black Mountain clan for clues of their whereabouts, and then we have to report back to him. If we went to the Black Mountain mines right now, we would get squished into paste. So we're going to do that a bit later on. We're going to have to do some more side quests to level up. Let's see. Oh, and actually, Drake didn't level up. Let's see. Level 9, 1 point to spend. Would probably be a good idea to start raising his dexterity so that melee is dependent upon dexterity, so I should probably try to raise that up to get expert training. Alright. So we've dealt with Mr. Bates, and I'm sure you're quite relieved that that long speech by Bates was voiced, so you wouldn't have to listen to my one NPC voice doing that. Alright, when we return, we're going to head into this place, H.T. Parnell's House of Wonders. So, as always, thank you for watching, and please stay tuned.